Good morning. You're with the Lord. It's 7 a.m. You know what time it is. It's the Lord. Lord Kitchen live and direct, strong from the kitchen on Kitchen Radio. In your birthday shout outs.
You are illegally occupying privately owned property. 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 You are illegally occupying.
If a man causes a blemish on his neighbour, so should be done to him. It's breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. This is war.
The film starts with a person called the Kitchener, who is the main radio man and the person who gives notification to the kitchen dwellers whenever any updates happen. He also has a habit of giving a speech every morning. It usually includes something negative, such as to express that water doesn't work, so whoever wants to have a shower would go to the public shower, which is in the way that it was said by the Kitchener. Doesn't really look like it's a negative situation, because they already got used to share spaces and use common amenities. Governments have the power, and as the world is going on, governments want to have more power over everything. So people are being watched basically as much as possible, and they do not have the freedom to do whatever they were used to do for years. They also have the power to make people believe that these things are normal and the public spaces are public spaces and not the pseudo-public spaces. But when you come to reality, you cannot do whatever you want to do in these public spaces. And if you are not one of the high or middle class, you are not welcome to such public places. So overall, the Kitchen Society, in my opinion, is like a family. The Kitchener is like their father. They also got so sad when he died and thought directly about retaliation. Therefore, they got out of their dedicated space and attacked the pseudo-public space, which was an open-air mall with cameras all over it. So they have to cover themselves to be able to rob some of it, and this was them avenging the Kitchener, which is morally wrong. But according to their mentality and the standards of thinking that the space they grew in imposed into their hearts, what they did is called avenge. So the act of prevalence or watching people through cameras just because you got the power is considered bad for most of the time. However, it's good for some times that are rare, such as if someone is getting robbed or any bad situation. They can still identify the criminal's identity. Other than that, the people that are not abiding these laws are not qualified to be around and are thrown into a certain land away from the land that the government needs. And by using democratic tactics, they can rob their land without no one being able to give any opinion. In such ways, such as making excuses about it or creating a situation that's not existent and making people believe it. They have a lot of tactics to use against these people. So the summarization of the film is that Although the societies that are segregated and are living in the city as private owned property is only called that by the governments. And the governments make the rules and make everything, and the government's controlled by certain people. So it doesn't make sense to just spare a certain group of people because they don't abide by the laws and keep whoever is going to benefit them. And the secret about governments is that they make the rules based on what they think, and nobody can say no to them. So these societies kind of break these rules and go with what's natural. The natural thing in this world is that everybody should have a dwelling to live in, and everybody should share some places, regardless of their introvert or extroverts. But the main challenge in here is for the introverts, because introverts would rather come to the city and find more opportunities and be isolated until they get more than what the normal society gives. Extroverts will manage to live in isolated societies better than introverts, as they are lovers to have shared amenities, to have conversations with people they don't know, and they like to get to know new people. So what we get about this whole story is that if someone wants to get a better life and a better opportunity in the city, they would have to isolate themselves partially or fully based on what they actually need. But there still should be some kind of isolation. So some people actually prefer to be within a society, which is regardless in the city or not. But usually societies like this that are gathered together, that kind of look for each other and take care of each other, are always out of the cities and out of the laws that the governments impose to the societies within the city. That's why police actually, for most of the film, they actually create a lot of problems for these people. They attack their dwellings and they try to kill some of them because they just want to get rid of the people that are not abiding by their rules. And therefore, the full image of this movie is that segregated societies are not always a bad thing. Sometimes it might be a good thing for some people.